Welcome back to football, baby. Week 1 of the NFL season. Shed2Ed episode 35. Let's go. Big matchups this week.
Let's go, baby. Kickoff 2023. We're so ready for this moment right now.
So ready. 16 matchups. That means we've got 8 each. And I snagged your favorite team, the Baltimore Ravens, going up against Houston this week.
Yeah, always monsters in week 1. You know, they dismantled Miami a couple of years ago. They just cleave through everybody that they go up against in week 1. You know, they're preseason warriors. They come off of that and go into regular season fresh out the gate before any injuries hit. That's kind of the main point there. But going up against the lowly Houston Texans, they're the biggest favorite on the board this week.
Speaking of some bigger favorites, the Vikings are in a very favorable position against the Bucs. Brady's out of the picture. I grabbed the Bears this week. That was a bit of a pinch pick, going up against the Packers, who are missing their quarterback as well, and Aaron Rodgers, who's gone over to the Jets. Neither one of us took the Jets this week.
No, well, I don't really like the Jets with a new quarterback. You know, they haven't really figured it out just yet, but the Bills are a high-powered, high-offense team, and their defense is solid there as well. I know it's going to be in New York. That's probably why the line isn't so swayed towards Buffalo Bills, but Buffalo is the play this week.
You've also got San Francisco this week. Very solid team, front side and back side, offense and defense. You've called them, I believe, the complete team before.
Yeah, they are a complete team, and they recently just moved on from Trey Lance, who they traded up for in the draft, and now they're using their 7th-round drafted quarterback, Brock Purdy. But, you know, if they're giving him the reins, and he brought them through to the playoffs and brought them pretty deep into the playoffs last year, you know, a sophomore season, he could be even better. So, you know, give him the keys to the car, and we'll see what happens with the 49ers. But I don't think they're going to be any worse this year than last year. Pittsburgh home dogs, kind of a tough one to go against them, so that's why I left it to last pick in the draft. But I do think the 49ers pull it out.
Your biggest picks this week, Kansas over the Lions. Should be able to get it done easy. You took the Commanders, who had a very mixed record last season, and you took the Seahawks, who are, you know, usually they're there for us. The Seahawks have been pretty consistent lately.
Yeah, I took the Chiefs with my first pick there. Going against the poverty Lions, they're always kind of poverty. They're turning around a little bit, but they're never really quite up to that Chiefs level. But the Chiefs, in the last few days, have had a couple of injury scares in Travis Kelce, who might not be playing on Thursday now, and Chris Jones, their defensive standout pass rusher, he's holding out for a new contract. So I don't know if either of these guys are going to be playing. That's why it's gone from a 6-point favorite down to a 5-point favorite on a lot of books. So we'll see if that still ends up being a decent draft pick or not. But, you know, Kansas City's record in September, they're 13-3 over the past few years. So I expect them to get this done, whether it's by 1 point or 6 points or 17 points, whatever it is. I think they're going to squeak one out.
Easy to get it done on that money line.
Yeah, and then moving on down the line, I'm not really sold on Washington Commanders, but it's more so just fading the Arizona Cardinals. They still don't even know who's going to start for quarterback in Arizona for week 1 anyways. They traded for Joshua Dobbs, who's just been a career backup, and they have late-round rookie Clayton Tune also in the mix, so we don't know what's going to go on there. They don't really have much potential there for offense. Their defense is pretty weak as well, so I think everyone thinks Arizona's just going to be intentionally tanking this whole year, and we're going to start off week 1 loss against the Washington Commanders.
So you're saying I should take Arizona off my Pick'em League pick for this week?
I definitely think you should not take Arizona at all, basically, the entire year. Unless something really goes on, yeah.
Now, people aren't hot on the Dolphins this week. I'm seeing a lot of action on the Chargers, myself included, taking the Chargers over the Dolphins this week. Any reason for that? Is Tua playing? What happened to the Dolphins defense? What is going on over there, dude?
Dolphins look like they have a good team this year. I don't see any holes on the roster, really, at all. But the Chargers always have big hype. Justin Herbert just got a huge contract. They have Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen's healthy right now. They still have a couple of wide receivers. They drafted a nice tall one in Quentin Johnston, and they still have Mike Williams there as well. So, and they have Austin Eckler. They have high-powered offense. The defense is okay, and it's a long road trip, 3 hours or so across the country from Miami to LA, and that's where they're playing in the Chargers stomping grounds there. So I think that's why the Chargers are getting the lean this week against Miami, but, you know, Miami can pull that one out.
I feel like the deep end of my draft, I got the Bengals and the Saints over the Browns and the Titans. Are we just fading Browns and Titans? Of course, Joe Burrow, Bengals, super team. So Chargers are back, baby. Hey, they had their hangover year. What's going on with the Chargers?
Chargers always have a hangover year. They're in a tough division with the Chiefs. The Raiders are kind of up and down all the time, and the Broncos should be back this year. So you never know what the Chargers are going to come through with. They always deal with a lot of injuries there as well.
What's going on with the Raiders this week? Carr has left. He's headed over to the Saints. Do they have an offensive line ready to rock and roll? You took the team playing up against the Raiders. Who is that this week? The Broncos you took over the Raiders. Why? What's so big about the Broncos this week?
Well, Broncos are at home, which is a big thing, but they also have Sean Payton now. So they traded for Russell Wilson. He looked abysmal in his first year with the Broncos, but he needed some time. Most quarterbacks do need some time to acclimate to their new team, get some chemistry, learn the playbook is like learning a new language for a quarterback. So you get the big money, you get the big move, you get the big ego inflation going on. You don't really bother with the playbook as much. Russell Wilson has a year removed from that. He's back in under an all-star head coach, under a revamped offense there. They got their star running back in Javonte Williams, so we'll see if he's good this year. And then switch over to the Raiders. They have a new quarterback. So Jimmy Garoppolo is mediocre, maybe middle of the road or so, but he's got to learn a new offense. He's got to get used to his weapons. He has to get used to the chemistry of the new team. And the Raiders just aren't that great. I think the defense on Denver is a lot better than the defense on the Raiders there as well. So a lot of factors going into that one. I think Russell Wilson kind of turns it around this year. That's kind of what I'm betting on.
I've never been a fan of the Pats. I'll just take anyone against the Pats. Eagles is a very powerful team. I have no issue fading them. Who's the other team that I grabbed? Jags over the Colts. I don't like the Jags and I don't like the Colts, but that was a pidge pick. He threw the Jags in earlier. You liked that pick. You like the Jags over the Colts this week.
That was going to be my next pick when looking at it. So Colts have a rookie quarterback, and Anthony Richardson could be a boomer bust kind of guy. He could be, I don't know, he could be the next Cam Newton, but he could also be the next Cam Newton. You don't know which way this guy is going to go. But their star running back, Jonathan Taylor, is out. The Colts don't look that great at all, and the Jacksonville Jaguars have a lot of weapons. They're starting to turn it around a little bit with Trevor Lawrence getting another year under the offense. They have Etienne's healthy. They have Calvin Ridley they just get brought over from the Falcons, and they have the same cast that they had last year with Zay Jones, Christian Kirk. I think the Jaguars are going to be explosive this year, and I think the Colts are trending in the wrong direction right now going into week one. Pats and Eagles. I do like the Eagles pick. I know the Pats are at home, but that doesn't mean a whole lot for them. Bill Belichick can win with anybody or anything going on, so you can never really count them out. So I kind of like the spread a little bit, but the Eagles look high-powered. You know, they haven't really taken much of a step back. They signed a lot of old veterans on the defense last year, but they still have a lot of their young guns going, ready to go on the defense, and they haven't missed a step on offense whatsoever. Jalen Hurts going to look the same. They have DeAndre Swift instead of Miles Sanders. That's just a wash there. They have A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith ready to go, and Dallas Goedert still looks good. The offensive line still one of the better ones in football, so the Eagles is the smart play on that one.
Very deep team, very complete team. I don't feel like the Eagles are a 10-pole running on one or two guys. The Eagles seem to have a very strong offense all the way through.
They do. They can win anyway. You know, the defense is still solid. They get a lot of takeaways. They get a lot of sacks. They create a lot of opportunities for the offense, and the offense can finish that off.
I think you said that the Seahawks and the Rams are matched up this week, and you took the Seahawks side of that matchup.
Yeah, Seahawks and Rams, a big divisional matchup in week one. I do like the Seahawks. They're trending in the right direction. I don't know who's going to be starting at running back for them. They always seem to have hurt running backs no matter who it is. I think Charbonnet is healthy if Kenneth Walker is not ready to go. But they do have Jackson Smith and Jigba, and they have DK Metcalf. They have Tyler Lockett there. Noah Fant's ready to go. And Geno Smith actually looked good. A top 5 quarterback is how he looked last year. We'll see in his second year starting with the Seahawks if he can keep that trend going. Now, the defensive side of the ball is a little bit more shaky, especially the defensive backs. But Bobby Wagner is back in town for the Seahawks, so he should shore up a lot of the defensive play calling. Him and Jordan Brooks are going to be tackling machines this year. But the Rams, Cooper Kupp might not be playing. He might be hurt for a little bit there too. And Stafford, he's recently said that he can't find the chemistry with a lot of his younger receivers. So without Cooper Kupp, they're going to be missing a big part of that offense.
You got any props you like this week? Any over-unders?
Over-unders. Looking at Washington and Arizona, that's one of the lowest totals that I've seen. It's about 38.5 or 39. I actually like that one under still because I can picture a scenario where Arizona just gets shut out or gets 7 points, and Washington's offense isn't really electric. You know, they have Jahan Dotson, they have McLaurin. They're good. They have a rotating cast at running back, decent, and the quarterback Sam Howell, he looks okay, but it's going to be his first year starting. So like I can't see them putting up a whack of points, especially if they already get a decent lead on Arizona. I like the under 39, under 38.5 on that one a bit. I also like the under on the kickoff matchup. So as I was saying with Patrick Mahomes and nobody he has to throw to, basically, Kelsey might be out. So if Kelsey's confirmed out, you can see that line gonna drop a lot. But I do like the under on that one. So Detroit seems to have a decent offense. We all know what Kansas City can do, put up points, but the line is blown out. It's like 52.5, 53 or so. That's a lot of room on the under there, especially if one of the stud receivers, point getters for the Kansas City Chiefs, is out.
Anything else you want to touch on?
Browns and Bengals. This one's a pretty tight one too. I do think that the Bengals have a complete team, but, you know, Deshaun Watson looked terrible last year. Another year in the offense. Probably going to be clicking a lot better this year. They got rid of Kareem Hunt, but they're going to be feeding that rock to Nick Chubb, and he's going to be just pounding it out if he needs to. They have Amari Cooper. They have Donovan Peoples-Jones and a couple of guys at receiver that'll get the job done there as well. Bengals are the Bengals. Jamar Chase looks phenomenal as always. T. Higgins. They have some of the best receiving core in football there. Irv Smith brought over. Don't sleep on Irv Smith this year. It might be a game changer at tight end for the Bengals. This one's a bit of a toss-up. I know that Cleveland's at home here, but that doesn't really matter a whole lot. A very short trip from Cincinnati to Cleveland there. So look for the Bengals to get the win on that one as well.
It's the Bengals, baby. Let's go.
Bengals, let's go. Can never really cheer for any one of them. Division rivals with the Ravens, right? So I can see that one ending in a 0-0 draw, right? Last but not least, we got the Sunday night game. We got Dallas Cowboys, America's team, probably in America's game, going up. They always start the same way against the Giants. They lose half these matchups. They're always favorites to win. And the Giants, they have nobody at receiver. You know, Sterling Shepard's back. Everybody keeps forgetting that, but he's only going to be playing probably half the game before he gets hurt again for the whole year. Darius Slayton's down as the number one. Giants defense, not great. Cowboys defense, actually looking pretty good this year. You know, they got Micah Parsons, they got Travion Diggs, they got a couple of guys, a couple of playmakers on the back end of the ball there. So I do like the Cowboys, and I drafted the Cowboys, but I'm ready for disappointment.
Okay. It sounds like they have a full O-line and a workable D-line, man. Let's see if the Cowboys can manage to keep the ball rolling and get it over that fucking goal line, get that touchdown. 6 points, baby.
Well, they don't have Ezekiel Elliott to do it now, so he's going to be the new goal line back for the Patriots. Not going to get a whole lot of work, but probably just going to see the red zone touches, I think, there. What else we got? Do we got anything else? I got a parlay here. I got a parlay. It's two money lines, two favorites on the money line there. I like Kansas City Chiefs just to win, not to beat the spread. I don't know where the spread's going to end up, depending on where Kelsey's out or whatever's going on with Chris Jones, whenever that's all sorted out. But I do like Kansas City's record in Week 1 in September. So I got Kansas City win, and I got Philadelphia Eagles to win there as well. So I don't know if they'll cover the spread. I think Bill Belichick's going to make that a little bit of a close game, especially at home in their home opener. But I do think that the Eagles are going to win that one handily.
Eagles, Chiefs, money line parlay.
There you go. That's a Super Bowl money parlay.
No Super Bowl hangover. These teams are going to be right back at it in Week 1, hey? Some favorable matchups.
Patrick Mahomes has been here before. He's kind of curse-proof, you know. He's been on the cover of Madden twice now, I think. He's won a couple of Super Bowls. He always rebounds. He's a different level, you know. He's the new Tom Brady, if you want to call him that. He's kind of on track to match him. So Patrick Mahomes is the new guy in town. Jalen Hurts looks good. The Eagles have a complete team. I like two of those teams to win week 1.
Week 1, baby.
Week 1, baby. Kickoff time. We're here. We're back. The long off season has ended. Let's go, baby.
Buckle up for 16 weeks of football, season 6 of Shed2Ed. Let's go, baby.
Let's go, baby.